We might see the biggest upset in the history of the Champions League this year. In today's news, we see how Newcastle could almost end up with the best attack in the Premier League, look at who actually has the hardest Champions League schedule, and try to correctly predict every big match this weekend. Last week we failed horribly, so we gotta redeem ourselves. The one prediction I did get right was my boy joining Newcastle. Y'all even heard it. I did say if that ends up happening, they better slide me a milli, so I'm waiting on it. If they sell Isak to Liverpool, they could end up lining up like this because Wissa is still a target of theirs. Newcastle is my second team in the Premier League this season, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, what would really be crazy though is if Isak ends up staying. I actually think that could possibly happen. If Liverpool's deal can't get done, he will end up being reintegrated into the squad, meaning this is how they could line up. And man, this would be one of the nastiest attacks in the Premier League. Ooh, damn, I hope it happens. I think the reality is he'll probably end up joining Liverpool though, which I feel like means Ekitike will play on the left. Arne Slot a couple weeks ago said he could play with two strikers, but I have a feeling Gakpo would get dropped and they would end up lining up like this. Technically, Hugo Ekitike could be dropped too to the bench and Gakpo start. This is how it would look if they did end up playing with two strikers though. They play Arsenal this weekend, which is going to be such a good match, bro. We're going to predict it in a sec, but this is their fixture list for the Champions League this season. They got Real Madrid, meaning Trent is going back to Anfield. That's going to be so interesting to watch. They also got Inter Milan, Atlético, Frankfurt, PSV, Marseille, Karabag, and Galatasaray, who is a sleeper. Hey, that's not a team you want to be drawing from pot 4. People are saying PSG have the hardest schedule. They got Bayern, Barcelona, Atalanta, Leverkusen. Both those sides, though, I'm not quite sure. Gasperini and Xabi Alonso both left. They do got Tottenham, though. They got Sporting, Newcastle, and Athletic Bilbao, the two clubs you don't want to be drawing from pot 4 either. As for Barcelona, they got Paris, they got Chelsea, Frankfurt, Club Brugge, which I think won't be too easy, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, Copenhagen, and Newcastle. Chelsea got Barcelona, Bayern, Benfica, Atalanta, Ajax, Napoli, which is not a good draw in pot 3, Pafos, and Karabag. Dortmund got Inter, Man City, Villarreal, Juve, Bodo and Glimt, Tottenham, Athletic Bilbao, and Copenhagen. Inter got Liverpool, Dortmund, Arsenal, Atleti, Slavia Praha, Ajax. They got the team from Kazakhstan, and then Union St. Gilloise. Bayern got Chelsea, Paris, Club Brugge, Arsenal, Sporting, PSV, Union St. Gilloise, and Pafos. Man City got Dortmund, Real Madrid, Leverkusen, Villarreal, Napoli, Bodo and Glimt, Galatasaray, and Monaco. So Arsenal got Bayern, Inter, Atleti, Club Brugge, Olympiacos, Slavia Praha, also the team from Kazakhstan and Athletic Bilbao. And then Real Madrid, they have to play Man City, Liverpool, Juve, Benfica, Marseille, Olympiacos, Monaco, and then they gotta fly to Kazakhstan, bro. That makes their schedule low-key tough because I don't know if you realize it's almost not even in Europe. They're gonna have to fly 9 hours in one direction because it's on the border of China. Bro, I wish there was a camera on the Real Madrid players like there was on the Almaty players when the draw was announced because, bro, Mbappe, Vinny, Bellingham were probably all looking at each other like, shit, bro. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Kairat Almaty get a W just like FC Sheriff did a few years ago. This weekend, though, against Mallorca, I can't really say the same thing. Remember, the goal is at least one time this season, we got to try to get every single like big match score prediction correct. So Real Madrid can't let us down. I'm saying they win 4-0. Deportivo Alavés versus Atletico. I'm gonna say Atletico, they have to win, bro. They dropped points the first 2 matches, so I'm gonna say 2-1. Rayo is actually pretty good. I'm gonna say Barca beat them 3-1 though. Also, it's gonna be impossible if I add the Bundesliga and the Serie A, so I'm just sticking with the Premier League and the 3 big La Liga clubs. I'm saying Chelsea beat Fulham 3-1. They've agreed a deal to sign Garnacho for £40 million plus a 10% sell-on clause. So maybe we'll even see him make his debut this weekend. Tottenham play Bournemouth. I think they'll win 2-0. I actually think they're going to do well this season. They've also reached an agreement with RB Leipzig worth 60 million euros for Xavi Simons. If they get that done, that's a quality signing. United play Burnley this weekend. I'm going to have to back Ruben. I'm saying 2-0 to the boys. At least I hope so. Sunderland versus Brentford. I'm saying a 1-1 draw. Wolves versus Everton. I'm saying Everton win 2-1. It'll be Jack Grealish's second game. Tyler Dibbling might make his debut. Leeds versus Newcastle. We might see Voltamata make his debut. I'm going to say Newcastle squeezed by there 1-0. Brighton versus Man City. I'm going 3-2 to City. Forest versus West Ham. West Ham just agreed a deal worth £42 million in total for 21-year-old Portugal international Mateus Fernandes, but I don't think that'll have any effect on the match. I'm saying Forest win 3-0. Then I think Aston Villa will beat Palace 2-0 with Eze gone. And then Liverpool versus Arsenal. He might actually make his debut for Arsenal. I don't think Liverpool are at their full strength yet. Arsenal neither. I'm gonna go 2-2. Anyways, that's the news. Let's see what happens, and I'll catch y'all on Monday.